I the empire waiting for a clan. While the Khazar Empire faded into dust and its adopted identity dispersed across continents, another kingdom quietly sharpened its destiny across the northern seas, beyond mountains veiled in mist on an island where druids once invoked. The whispers of forgotten gods. A new royal house began to rise. A lineage that would one day rule 1/4 of the earth, command fleets spanning the globe, shape laws, languages, and legends, and crown monarchs whose influence would echo through every modern nation. They would become the royal family of Great Britain, but their rise was no accident. It was guided by kings, by priests, by conquerors, by hidden bloodlines, by forces flowing since the days of Rehab. The Shadows' new strategy. The children of shadows were no longer satisfied, corrupting nations from afar or whispering in the ears of ambitious kings. They sought bloodlines, families whose lineage could be shaped, groomed, prepared to carry out the dragon's long strategy. If identity could be counterfeited in Khazaria, legitimacy could be manufactured in Europe, Britain became fertile ground. A land of ancient pagan rites, tribes claiming mystical ancestry, chieftains forged in war, a church hungry for authority. The shadow whispered, "Unite the island, forge a dynasty. Let one bloodline hold the crown that guides the future world." The Tudors' bloodlines rose through conflict and collapse before the Tudors. The Wars of the Roses tore England apart. Two houses battling for inheritance, York and Lancaster, white rose and red rose, yet beneath the banners flowed hidden rivers of ancestry. Some real, some invented, some whispered by the shadow. When Henry Tudor seized the throne and married Elizabeth of York, he united the roses and ended the war, but he also sealed a new dynasty. One forged through conflict and ripe for destiny. The shadow watched closely. This union would produce queens whose choices reshaped continents. A bloodline with two faces. Centuries later, the monarchy evolved into the House of Windsor, a name adopted during World War I to hide its Germanic origin, identity masking, lineage blurring, names reshaped for power. The children of light warned, when nations change their names to hide their beginnings, pay attention. The shadow often moves beneath the ink. The Windsors, once at Colbert and Gotha, merged British, German and continental bloodlines. Their power came not just from ancestry, but from a belief cultivated over centuries, the divine right of kings. The alleged lineage of ancient thrones, legends grew around the British crown, claims that the monarchy descended from ancient Israel's kings, the tribe of Judah, the throne of David, prophets wandering from Jerusalem, or relic bearers of old. Some believed these myths, some used them politically, some whispered them in secret. The children of shadow knew the truth. These claims were attempts to graft Britain into the sacred narrative of covenant, the same yearning that once ignited King Bulin. Shadow whispered to monarchs, "You are chosen. Your blood shall rule the nations. Your throne shall echo ancient prophecy." And kings believed it. As Britain entered its golden age, through Elizabeth I, through the Acts of Union, through colonial conquest, through naval domination, its crown expanded beyond imagination. The British Empire became the largest in history, the most globally connected, the most identity-altering power on Earth. Where Britain went, names changed, languages spread, borders shifted, identity dissolved and reformed. The shadow smiled. Confusion on this scale was stronger than any army.
envied the royal family and the hidden bloodlines. The children of light observed a tapestry behind the British throne, woven from some unions were political, some strategic, some rooted in destiny unknown. But one belief ran through the line: our blood has a purpose. Some traced their lineage to warriors, others to saints, others to the old gods of the north. Some even to Israel's lost tribes, or relic lore from Jerusalem. Not all were true, not all were false, but all shaped the monarchy.
Beat the shadows hand in empire as Britain spread across the world, into Africa, India, the Americas, the Caribbean, and the isles of every sea. The identity of millions was rewritten. The shadow perfected the lesson of Khazaria.
He who controls identity controls destiny. Thus Britain became a global architect of identity.
Changing cultures, renaming nations, redrawing maps, exporting its monarchy's image, shaping history for centuries. But a question grew: was this bloodline chosen by the Father, or crafted by the dragon?
The light watches the throne. Despite the shadow's presence, the Father did not abandon the monarchy within its line rose.
Compassionate rulers
who prayed in secret, kings who sought justice, light flickered even in shadowed halls.
But the battle continued, for the British throne stood at the crossroads of identity, between covenant and counterfeit, calling and corruption, and the dragon desired the crown for the final act of history.
But heaven had already written a different ending. What this chapter sets in motion, the rise of Britain's royal bloodlines, became a defining force in world history.
A throne wrapped in myth,
a monarchy shaped by hidden lineages, an empire rewriting global identity, a future arena for light and shadow,
a lineage whose true destiny is yet to
For Bulan's ripple reached Europe, and Europe's crowns absorbed it, but Britain magnified it. The British crown became the greatest amplifier of identity confusion in history. And the future battleground where light will one day correct the record. The hidden bloodlines are rising toward their moment. A reckoning approaches. Light is preparing to separate truth from the shadowcraft story.